If I can make just a program note for those of you in our studio audience tonight. Two of our guests, our special guests who are coming from south, are stuck in the traffic backup on Highway 89. So we're going to delay the start of the program for just a little bit. Sam, Symphonic Band, thank you for providing the wonderful prelude music and keeping us going. Thank you very much. So if you all can just sit tight, enjoy the prelude music, and then after, one other program note, after it finishes, there's a video that will scroll that has the names of all of the graduates. And the band will be playing during that video. So you're welcome to stay and watch that or leave, but because the band's playing, if you'll just keep the noise down, because that will be broadcast out and that will be able to be heard. So thank you all very much, and we'll start shortly.
Passe feu de blé. C'est son. Video. Or back here. Fun. Very smooth. Save the chops. Go easy. Hard to do on this piece, I realize, but. Three.
Good evening. My name is Brad Mortensen. Welcome to the D Event Center, where we are streaming the 156th graduation celebration of Weber State University. On behalf of our faculty, staff, and governing boards, as president, I am honored and humbled to extend all the heartfelt excitement and greetings to you that this momentous occasion deserves. To each and every member of the extraordinary class of 2021, as well as to your family, friends, and supporters, whether you're among the few who are with us here in person or watching remotely, sincerest congratulations. Please join me now in thanking the Weber State University Symphonic Band under the direction of J. Samuel Bryson for performing our prelude music. Seated on the platform this evening are members of the Weber State University Board of Trustees, Chair Nolan Karras, Vice Chair Kirsten Katrubas, Carla Bergeson, Luenda Downs, Karen Fairbanks, Curtis Funk, President of the Weber State University Alumni Association, and Benjamin Fernie, President of the Weber State University Student Association. Representing the Utah System of Higher Education are board member Alan Hall and Deputy Commissioner of Higher Education Jeffrey Landward. We also recognize on the stand past Weber State University President and State Senator F. Ann Milner, and acknowledge past WSU President Paul Thompson, who is watching remotely. Other guests on the podium include our student speaker, commencement speaker, honorary degree recipients, and Brady Presidential Distinguished Professors who will be introduced later in the program. My personal thanks and recognition goes out to my Weber State University administrative colleagues who are represented here, Assistant Vice President of Diversity and Chief Diversity Officer Adrian Andrews, Vice President of Information Technology Brett Ellis, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs Ravi Crovey, University Advancement Vice President Betsy Manel, Student Affairs Vice President Brett Perazzi, and Administrative Services Vice President Norm Tarbox. Please join me in welcoming all of these special guests and thanking them for their many contributions to Weber State University. So, like can be said about practically everything for the last 14 months, this event is unique. We chose to stream the university's main commencement ceremony to minimize the occasions for large crowds to gather as part of our COVID-19 mitigation protocols. We've focused our in-person events around college convocations being convened at Elizabeth D. Shaw Stewart Stadium tomorrow, with the exception of two smaller programs that will meet in the Val A. Browning Center for the Performing Arts, where our graduates will have the chance to be recognized individually for their accomplishments in front of their family and friends. My deep thanks to all of the staff and faculty at Weber State who have made special accommodations for this to work, balancing our commitment to congratulate our graduates with preserving the health and well-being for all who attend. Please help me in thanking all of them. To our graduates, you have made it. Thank you for taking this moment for yourselves to bask in the significance of your accomplishment, to embrace the benefit of the intellectual, emotional, and physical challenges that you have overcome to reach this pinnacle, and to express appreciation for the family, friends, supporters, faculty, and staff, and others who have boosted you on this journey. There are 6,497 members of the class of 2021, a record number of Weber State graduates for a single year by more than 500 in the middle of a pandemic. What a tribute that is, not only to each of you graduates, but to the dedication and effort of our faculty and staff. To each graduate, that means you are embarking with 6,496 others on a new life as college graduates with the potential to change the world. Whether you are one of the first students receiving an Associate of Arts in Digital Media Production, or are part of the first cohort of 12 students to receive a doctorate degree from Weber State University with a Doctorate of Nursing Practice, you can have confidence that the personalized attention and support you have received from faculty, staff, and other mentors has prepared you to succeed. In terms of return on investment, earlier this year, a think tank on college affordability ranked Weber State number 19 out of over 2,000 four-year colleges and universities across the country as the most affordable colleges with the best return on investment, based largely on the salaries of our graduates. Equally, if not more important, your education has fostered your abilities in what Jamie Marasotis, the president of the Lumina Foundation, describes as the uniquely human skills that artificial intelligence and robots cannot replicate: creativity, curiosity, imagination, empathy, human connection, diversity, and innovation. Like many of you over the last year, I have learned that I have a lot to learn. But one thing that I am absolutely sure of is that each of you graduates has only scraped the potential of the impact on this world you are empowered to have with your degree. Let me share one close-to-home example that will perhaps help you appreciate that. In your time at Weber State, have you ever wondered why so many places have the name Stewart that appears in their name? They are all in reference to Elizabeth D. Shaw Stewart. Elizabeth, her husband Donnell, and their Stewart Education Foundation are the leading philanthropic benefactors of our university. The Stewart Bell Tower Plaza, Stewart Library, Elizabeth D. Shaw Stewart Stadium, Stewart Wasatch Hall, and the Stewart Center at WSU Davis all have their fingerprints. But that's not all. The D Event Center, Elizabeth Hall, Shaw Gallery, Annie Taylor D. School of Nursing, Hearst Center, Lampros Hall, Stromberg Complex, many other programs, and millions of dollars in scholarships and support of the arts and athletics all tie back to Elizabeth as well. But do you know the first place where Elizabeth's name appears on our campus? On the backside of the Louis F. Monch statue is a plaque recognizing the high school graduating class from our institution in 1923. Included among the 152 names is Elizabeth Shaw, a student who grew up on 1447 Washington Boulevard on what she described as the noisy end of town, whose family struggled along financially until things began to work out a little better. Now, there will never be another Elizabeth D. Shaw Stewart, but just like this visionary and generous woman has had a transformative impact on her alma mater, each of you graduates, with the skills, attributes, knowledge, and relationships you have attained through your degree, will have a transformative impact throughout your lives on your families, your professions, and your community. Class of 2021, you are resilient. Weber State University, as a family, is resilient. And I am so proud of you and proud to be a part of an institution that is truly like no other. We will continue to meet students where they are and help them get to where they want to be, and we're committed to learning and improving along the way. I challenge each of you to live by these same principles as you graduate from Weber and continue to lead in your respective communities. At this point, if we were all together, I would ask graduates to stand and be recognized if you are the first in your family to earn a college degree, if you worked part-time or full-time while getting your degree, if you have a job waiting for you, or if you're continuing to graduate or professional studies, and if you are a veteran of the armed services or an active military member. We recognize each of you and thank you for your service and sacrifice during your education. Let's give the graduating class of 2021 another well-earned round of applause. Congratulations. At this point, I'm pleased to introduce the next section of our program. After a video highlighting our graduates, you will soon have the chance to hear from this year's student speaker, Cassie Ann Harbarth. Following Cassie's remarks, Nolan Karras, Chair of the Board of Trustees, will introduce this year's honorary degree recipients. And just so you know, when Chair Karras comes, Later this summer, he'll be completing 20 years of voluntary service and leadership to the Utah system of higher education, 12 years on the Utah State Board of Regents, where he served as chair, and now 8 years at Weber State University. And Nolan, we deeply appreciate all of the service you've provided. Board of Trustees members and Weber State Vice Presidents will then perform the hooding and presentation of honorary degrees to Lou Jean Flint, Cecilia Foxley, Tau Papua, and Jean Sessions. Tau Papua will then provide our commencement address. He will be followed by a performance by the Weber State University Symphonic Band, Mount Everest. Now to introduce Cassie. Cassie Harbarth grew up in Ogden, Utah with her sister Carrie, mom Kim, dad Paul, and brother-in-law Aaron. She has spent the last few years traveling, serving for AmeriCorps, and even spent a summer at Disney World working at Typhoon Lagoon. As Cassie navigates her new life post-graduation, she is hoping to pursue a career in employee wellness. She is passionate about keeping those working full-time in sedentary jobs active and healthy. In her free time, Cassie likes to read and sew scrunchies for Sloan's Scrunchies, a local scrunchie business founded by her and her sister to raise money for the Weber State University Kim McCorkle Harbarth Memorial Scholarship. You might see her selling scrunchies around town or at the local farmer's market. Cassie looks forward to the future with hope, love, and compassion, moving ever upward with a Weber State University degree in tow. Now for our video.
Weber State is great. You know, it's what we say, it's what we do here, and it's real.
Weber State is home for me. It truly has been, and I'm glad that I chose Weber State and the benefits that it brought to my life.
Weber State has opened opportunities for me. It's taught me life lessons. It's taught me how to grow and mature into the young man I am.
Weber State has been a huge part of my process to climbing to my goals. I don't think I would be able to achieve the goals that I have without being at Weber State. My journey to graduation started when I was just a little girl. My dad is a math teacher, so even when I was little, I was really involved in math and other STEM fields. And then when I was about in the 4th grade, I decided I really wanted to go into forensic science. And that led me to Weber State. Through my chemistry courses I had to take for my forensic science degree, I actually found that I loved chemistry and eventually became a double major in chemistry as well. Weber State faculty and staff did help me to enlarge the vision that I had for myself. I just was planning on coming here and getting my forensic science degree and calling it good, but because of everything that I've been able to do, I've now decided to go on and get my master's degree. I would like to say to the faculty and staff here at Weber State, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be who I am today and giving me the tools I need to go on with my career and my education.
I actually got a job that a doctorate is preferred, and it happened to line up right when Weber State got approval for their first doctorate program. I think being a member of this first class, graduating with a doctor in nursing practice, is actually a little bit overwhelming, and we're really kind of paving the way for the future cohorts. I think to make graduation a reality, it's a combination. We had amazing professors. My family as well. My mom is my unknown editor. She has no healthcare experience whatsoever. And she's like, I'm gonna miss reading your papers. I'm like, no, you're really not. My little girl is 10. She's seen me go through the whole programs and she's clapping and cheering. I kind of feel like for my education base, this is it. And I'm really excited to be at that end. And then just to be able to take everything that I've learned and really apply it into that professional role and just keep growing from there.
I wanted to be a Wildcat because I seen what they were doing on the football field.
And it's a Wildcat touchdown again.
Being a football player in the year of COVID didn't really feel like you were a football player because you're separated a lot from your teammates. You gotta just focus on competing in different areas, and I took that time to compete in the classroom. I'm a first-generation college student. Growing up, I've been around a lot of violence, a lot of gang activity. In high school, I lost my uncle, and I think that's when a lot of things changed as far as my personality and my mindset in life. My uncle's name was Aaron Malave. He was 18 years old, and I was 15 when he passed away. He always wanted me to be a better version of him, and despite maybe some wrongdoings or bad choices he made, he always made sure I wasn't to repeat that. I think of my uncle every day, and every time I'm on that field, I score a touchdown, I instantly thank my family. I point up.
Daniel Wright Jr. that time with a little extra effort.
And I'm pointing at my uncle, my uncles, my grandfather. My uncle would be beyond proud of me.
My greatest achievements at Weber State are happening right now. I will be the first graduate of my family, and that in itself is enough to really motivate you to keep going. I want to spend many years impacting and influencing the lives of children who have so much to offer. I was working 4 jobs throughout school, and on top of that, trying to do my very best in the classroom. Fortunately, my support system is what pushed me through. We've been through a lot. I mean, I could go on forever about what my family means to me and what they've done. Above all, I mean, we can look back now and say that we did it, I did it, and I'm very grateful, very grateful. I've reached the summit. I've completed, and I'm satisfied with where I'm at right now. And I know that's not the end. I know that's not where this stops. I know there's more to come, and I'm gonna keep climbing. There's more. There's a lot more.
Weber State has taught me a lot about perseverance and fighting through no matter what. It's just taught me how to become a better version of myself.
It's great to be at the peak and be like, hey, I reached it and had great success.
We have been through so much in the last year, and that just shows us that we can go through whatever life throws at us.
I first started at Weber State University when I was 18, living with my parents, saving to pay for my own schooling, and working part-time. I remember thinking, I know it all. Life was as hard as it would ever get. Nobody liked my boyfriend. I always forgot to submit for FAFSA on time. And I tried testing out of math 4 times with no luck. All the while, I was naive to the ups and downs ahead. By way of background, my mom grew up in a small rural town that viewed education as an unnecessary thing, especially for women. As unpopular as it was, my mom worked hard to pursue an education in her early 30s. She was 1 biology class away from graduating when she became pregnant with my sister Carrie. My mom's pregnancies were complicated, and as hard as she tried, Mom couldn't finish her degree. So she turned her focus to raising me and my sister. Eventually, my parents became empty nesters, and my mom suddenly became my classmate. In 2014, at 57 years old, she went back to school here at Weber State University and graduated with a Bachelor's of Integrated Studies. Mom used her education as a force for good, advocating for elder rights after my grandpa fell victim to large financial scams. She spent time with the Kasem Cares Foundation, lobbied at the Capitol, and made real change happen in the world. While the rest of my family was attending or graduating from Weber State, I stepped away for a gap year, or 2 or 3, working at Disney World and serving with AmeriCorps. And then, in the last 2 years, my life drastically changed. In 2019, my niece Sloan was born with a lifelong disability of Charge syndrome and deafblindness. 5 months after Sloan's birth, my mom died unexpectedly in her sleep after an adverse reaction to diabetes. In March of 2020, a national emergency was declared as a pandemic swept the globe. And 3 months after the pandemic was declared, my brother-in-law, Aaron, died by suicide. I wasn't 20-year-old Cassie navigating a world in which I couldn't figure out FAFSA and my boyfriend was a dud. I was 27-year-old Cassie navigating a very real life in which I lost my mom, brother, and became a full-time caregiver to my niece. And as life became very real for me, you know what stayed as a constant? My education. I'll never forget as Weber State supported me, specifically Dr. Wingaya, who empathized and worked with me closely to ensure I could successfully pass her class the semester my mom died. I'll never forget that support as a student in the throes of grief. So today, I am graduating with a breadth of both educational and life experience. I hope to help others, like my kind-hearted brother-in-law, Aaron, who found himself in a mentally ill place. I hope to help people with disabilities like my awesome niece, Sloan, as they navigate therapies and custom wellness plans. And I hope to help people like my best friend of a mom navigate common health challenges too. She would be so proud that I'm graduating from Weber State, her true alma mater, which also happens to be home to the Kim McCorkle Harbath Memorial Scholarship. I've now learned that our education from Weber State University continues forward in how we all move through life. Our education means more than that piece of paper we're about to receive in the mail or aiming to get a promotion at work. Education means continuing legacies when a life ends too soon. Education means making an actionable difference in the world, knowledge in hand. And at the end of the day, education can simply mean making your mom proud. So here you are, making your support system proud, carrying on legacies of your lost loved ones too. And for that reason, I'm proud to consider myself part of the graduating class of 2021, a group of people who carry their own unique stories after a year of collective change, hardship, and grief, always striving to move ever upward. Thank you.
Well done, Cassie, and I'm certain that your mom's here as well. We will now proceed with the awarding of the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities. This is the highest honor Weber State University confers upon an individual, and we are pleased to award such a degree today. President Mortensen, honored guest, distinguished faculty, it is my recommendation as chair of the Board of Trustees that the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities be conferred upon Lou Jean Flint. Will LaWinda Downs do it? Will LaWinda Downs and Curtis Funk, members of the Board of Trustees, please escort her to the podium and assist in the hooding. They're going to show the video.
Davis County native Lou Jean Flint has spent a lifetime creating opportunities and opening doors for students through higher education.
At a young age, it just seemed to me that I had a whole bunch of interests, and I loved school for one thing, and I loved playtime as well.
As a single mother of 3 children, Dr. Flint attended Weber State College, completing a bachelor's degree in education. She would eventually go on to earn master's and doctorate degrees.
I divorced, and I was really, really desperate. I had nothing, just nothing but the 3 kids. And I decided that if I was I had to go to work and I had to support them. So I took the way out. I went to college. I went to Weber State, and they were so good to me.
After time as a kindergarten teacher, Dr. Flint became an education specialist for the U.S. Department of Defense in Europe.
I lived in England, but I worked all over. I was in Norway and Denmark and Ireland and you name it.
Returning to Utah, Dr. Flint became the first full-time female employee working in the office of the Utah Commissioner of Higher Education.
Tried to make it better for students, that we could fund more students, that we could do a whole bunch of things.
Dr. Flint was instrumental in creating a report regarding women faculty positions in Utah, which within 5 years resulted in a 25% increase in women teaching within the higher education system.
I want equality. I want everybody to have opportunity, but I definitely was there for women and girls, trying to get them moving up the ladder.
As an advocate, Dr. Flint participated in a historic exchange with women from the Soviet Union.
We got an invitation to come and speak around the peace table in the Soviet Union, and the 8 of us went over and spoke, and that was a very wonderful experience.
As a philanthropist, Dr. Flint has supported scholarships for teachers and opportunities for girls interested in math, science, and technology.
There were doors open to me in education that I didn't even know the door existed. And I, in turn, tried to present those doors to many, many others, because it takes everybody. It takes everybody to make it work.
Weber State University is pleased to recognize Dr. Lou Jean Flint with a Doctor of Humanities honorary degree.
Stand here right with me, will you?
What was that?
Just stay right here with me. Okay. In recognition of her exceptional devotion to learning, teaching, and providing opportunity, for the consummate wisdom, grace, and diplomacy she demonstrates personally and professionally, for her resolute support of Weber State University and its expansion, for her enthusiasm and eagerness to provide educational leadership in Utah and around the world, Weber State University, with the authority given by law, confers upon Lou Jean Flint the degree of Doctor of Humanities. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lord.
This is for you, but we'll leave it up here. Isn't that beautiful?
Thank you, Lord.
You're welcome. We just leave it up here for you till after. President Mortensen, honored guests, distinguished faculty, it is my recommendation as chair of the Board of Trustees that the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities be conferred upon Cecilia Foxley. Will Carla Bergeson, member of the Board of Trustees, and Norm Tarbox, WSU's Vice President for Administrative Services, please escort her to the podium and assist in the hooding.
Cecilia Harrison Foxley is an accomplished educator and proponent for equity, having served for 10 years as the Commissioner of the Utah System of Higher Education.
Neither of my parents graduated from college. My older sister did not go to college. And I thought, well, I'm going to go to college. And my dad encouraged me to.
A first-generation college student from Centerville, Utah, Dr. Foxley was crowned National College Queen while attending Utah State University.
We had panels of judges, so like there would be contests on education, be contests about American history, contests, just all kinds of subjects. Plus, we had to do things like, which was really kind of interesting, set a table, know how to set a table. And they announced me as the National College Queen. My dad stood up and he said, "That's my daughter."
After earning her doctorate degree, Dr. Foxley held faculty and administrative positions at several universities where her work focused on providing equal opportunities for all students.
What's more important in education at any level than the students? That's what we have education for. And we want students to do well. We want them to feel appreciated. We want them to realize that if they get their education, it opens doors of opportunity for them.
Dr. Foxley is the only woman to have held the position of Commissioner and Chief Executive Officer for the Utah System of Higher Education.
The leadership of each institution makes that institution excel. And, you know, early on I thought we need more women serving. Diversity has always meant a great deal to me. So you have opinions from people with different backgrounds.
As a philanthropist and volunteer, Dr. Foxley has funded multiple scholarships, including founding the ARCS Utah chapter to support graduate students in the sciences. She was honored as the United Way Volunteer of the Year.
I followed the advice of my parents. I followed my heart in education. Doors of opportunity that I never dreamed of opened up. I never dreamed of.
Weber State University is pleased to recognize Cecilia Foxley with a Doctor of Humanities honorary degree.
Norm, while you're doing that, did she hire you?
She may as well have.
I know she hired Brad Mortensen to work in the commissioner's office, and look what she's done for Weber State.
Well, it's one of my favorite places, one of my favorite institutions.
There we go.
I'm so proud of all of you. He said to come here.
Oh, you got a good picture? All right, get the picture. Got to get the picture. Just follow the script, Nolan. Come on over here. In recognition of her compassionate efforts to improve the human condition, for her years of selfless service to the Utah system of higher education, for her exemplary demonstrations of leadership and philanthropy, for her role as a champion of the underserved, for her skill in providing educational opportunities and guiding students into lives of meaning and purpose, Weber State University, with the authority given by law, confers upon Cecilia Cece Foxley.
That's right. I thought you'd say Cece.
The degree. I didn't know who Cecilia was. Cecilia Foxley, the degree of Doctor of Humanities. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Over here. I'll leave that here if you want.
Thank you so much.
President Mortensen, honored guests, distinguished faculty, it is my recommendation as chair of the Board of Trustees that the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities be conferred upon Jean Sessions. Ben Fernie, a member of the Board of Trustees and the Student Body Association President, and Karen Fairbanks, member of the Board of Trustees, please escort him to the podium and assist in the hooding.
History professor Gene Sessions has become a legendary part of Weber State University himself, captivating students with his wit and knowledge.
But it wasn't until I came to Weber as a freshman, the same year the Beatles came to Ed Sullivan in 1964, which dates me, that I really got excited about history. And it was because of a couple of professors here. From the time I graduated from Ogden High and got my PhD was exactly 10 years.
As a master teacher, Dr. Sessions' popular classes are highly regarded among students.
One thing that has always been important to me is that my students are interested in what I'm telling them. And so I've worked really hard not to be boring. And I think if I'm worried about that and I want them to engage with me, then they do. And I've loved that.
In 2014, Dr. Sessions collaborated to create the university's first massive open online course.
Online course we put out worldwide on the effects of disease on history. We had thousands of students worldwide take this course, and then we converted it to a general ed course for students here at Weber. It's become very, very popular. And with the pandemic, all of a sudden it's become very germane.
Dr. Sessions was instrumental in WSU's expansion to Davis County, serving as the first director of the Davis campus.
Best friends that I could ever ask have been people I met at Weber. Colleagues, have done projects together, remarkable things together. And
well known for his scholarship in Utah history, Dr. Sessions is a prolific writer, authoring several books and serving as a historical consultant on documentaries and committees.
Being from Utah and being part of the culture and all that was separate from my intellectual activity. But once I got started into Utah history, it became just mind-bogglingly exciting and interesting.
Dr. Sessions is a common figure at WSU events and is credited with coining the phrase, "Wildcats bleed purple."
I believe in the idea that we should care about each other. And the world would be a lot better place if everybody cared about everybody else. And I've been blessed in my life with the desire to help other people and to see the best in them.
Weber State University is pleased to recognize Dr. Gene Sessions with a Doctor of Humanities honorary degree.
You got to stand for your picture, Gene. They want the picture. In recognition of his pioneering contributions to higher education, historical research and teacher development, for his compassionate advocacy of students and innovative efforts to improve their university experience through technology, collaboration, and hands-on learning, for his vital service to the community and enthusiastic support of campus traditions, Weber State, with the authority given by law, confers upon Gene Sessions the degree of Doctor of Humanities. Congratulations. I'll leave it here for you. He kept working, so we couldn't do this until now, that he's richly deserved. President Mortensen, honored guests, distinguished faculty, it is my recommendation as Chair of the Board of Trustees that the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities be conferred upon Tau Pupua. Will Kirsten Katrubis, member of the Board of Trustees, and Betsy Benella, Weber State University's Vice President of University Advancement, please escort him to the podium and assist in the hooding.
Tau Pupua is a world-renowned operatic tenor whose unconventional path to a singing career included a detour through the NFL.
Mama and Daddy taught us kids at a very young age, I remember growing up here in Salt Lake City, that success has no color, no religion, no age. And so every time I would leave the house, They would always tell me that. And for us to strive and to dream big.
While playing football for Weber State University, Mr. Papua planned to graduate with a degree in music.
Playing football for the Wildcats was an incredible part in my life. Not just playing, but the coaches that coached me when I was there. They coached me how to play better, but not just in the coaching of how to play, but also things that had to deal with life in itself.
His musical education at WSU was interrupted in 1995 when Mr. Papua was drafted by the Cleveland Browns to play as a defensive end.
After I got injured in the NFL from Baltimore, drove home back to Salt Lake City and was depressed for a couple of months. And I had to find something that I was good in, and I didn't know what it was until I was at church and I would be singing the hymns in church and people would be turning around wondering where that voice was coming from. And then I just had people like that, people that would inspire me, and they would say, why don't you go and do something with your voice?
Mr. Papua moved to New York to pursue his musical career, where he was accepted on full scholarship at the Juilliard School of Music. After graduating from the Juilliard Opera Center, Mr. Papua made his professional debut with the San Francisco Opera. He has since performed in operas and concerts throughout the world.
It just brings life into my soul. To sing and express myself, I feel that it is a God-given talent, and that to touch the souls of those who are out there and to see them cry or to see them laugh, it makes me feel good.
Mr. Papua has conducted master classes for WSU students and performed at the Valet Browning Center on campus.
You have to have a positive mindset when you walk out of your door, out of your house. You gotta think, I am good, I am here to do good. When you respect yourself and love yourself, then when you go out into the real world, you will give that respect and love to others.
Weber State University is pleased to recognize Tau Papua with a Doctor of Humanities honorary degree.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. In recognition of his outstanding accomplishments in the disparate worlds of professional sports and fine arts, for his tenacious dedication to the pursuit of knowledge and excellence, for his vital role as an international ambassador for the university, for the grace and humility he exhibits personally and publicly, Weber State University, with authority given by law, confers upon Tau Papua the degree of Doctor of Humanities. Let me give you this. You'll leave it up here after you get through. Okay. Congratulations. You may as well come back up. I'm pleased to introduce you the commencement speaker and honorary degree recipient, Tau Papua.
Hello, and congratulations to the Weber State Wildcats graduates of 2021. It is a great honor and blessing to be here tonight to deliver my first commencement speech to you. I would like to thank President Brad Mordison, the Board of Trustees, administration, and faculty of Weber State University for this great honor. I would also like to congratulate my fellow honorees. And on your behalf, I thank your parents, grandparents, families, and friends who have all helped get you here tonight. I hope my words tonight will uplift, inspire, and motivate you to aspire to your highest potential. I really believe miracle is an appropriate description of my adventure so far. Let me use this powerful word as the core of my experience and one of the most important things I can share with you. A miracle can be as simple as a shift in perception, a shift in the way I see myself, my strengths, opportunities, my past, present, future, and life. It is also the shift in the way we see and treat others. When our perceptions shift and we see differently, our thoughts and beliefs also change. When our thoughts and beliefs change, we start to take action in our lives differently. That alter action can create different outcomes. When we look around at ourselves, our relationships, challenges, and goals, our lives, we can say, wow, look at my results. Look at what I've created in my life. It's a miracle. And it all began with a shift in perception. My parents chose to take action after shifting their perception. Their actions and thoughts changed once they chose to see life in the kingdom of Tonga differently from the endless possibility offered in the USA. Moving to America and being an immigrant family, we started out with nothing. Life at times was hard growing up, and the struggle was real. The word poor can be used for my childhood, but only when referring to materialistic things. We were rich in the important things of life: love, unity, happiness, laughter, family, and God. The result of my parents' action has been, and still is, a miracle. 2 of their children are ministers. There are carpenters, teachers, a law enforcement officer, a fantastic homemaker, a rock and roll guitar player, and a former NFL player and opera singer. That would be me. I started playing football when I was 9 years old. Scouts for a Little League football team in the neighborhood found my cousin and myself on the playground of our elementary school. He was looking for big kids. I guess that team really wanted to win, hence a scout for a Little League team? Oh my gosh. Anyway, I am happy and I consider that a miracle. Because of that, football was introduced to me, my family, many of the Polynesian people of Salt Lake City. I played football all through my school years, from elementary to high school. Going beyond high school, I don't know if I would, going beyond high school might have been something foreign for me. But luckily football was a blessing, because without football, I don't think college would have been on my horizon. I am a Wildcat and will always be a Wildcat. I was drafted from Weber State to the Cleveland Browns by Bill Belichick. The Browns later moved to Baltimore and became the Baltimore Ravens. But shortly after being with the Ravens, I got injured and I had to leave the sport. Coming home, there was a lot of negative talk and whispering in the shadows of darkness. He was never going to make it. Despite the positive prayers of my parents, family, and loyal friends, I fell into self-pity and depression for 4 months. In finding myself, I had to surround myself with positive people, with those who have the same goals as myself. I had to dig deep into my soul and summon up life's 2 teachers, failure and success. You see, for me, they are both teachers. I ask myself, what lessons have I learned from this experience? I am here to learn. My success is up to me and my committed action. One morning, while I was sitting in my hotel room in Philadelphia, pursuing another opportunity of getting back into football, I pulled up the blinds in my room and I looked up to the sky and I asked a simple question: what is my life's purpose? As I sat there quietly repeating the questions, I heard a still small voice saying, "Step left and move forward." I knew right away what this meant. I could hear the voices of those who believed in me. My Weber State voice teacher, Evelyn Harris, "Breathe, Ta'u, breathe." And my family, "Ta'u, keep the faith." Their good energy and faith allowed me to have the courage to walk away from this opportunity and the possibility of returning to the NFL. I took a giant leap of faith and pursued music. Wildcats, class of 2021, it's never too late to ask yourself, what is my life's purpose? Music became my life's purpose. Moving to New York was a challenge in itself. My family and I have never been to New York. The only New York we knew was from TV and the movies, which portrayed the city as dangerous and difficult. The day I moved to New York to pursue my passion in music, my grandmother, a humble, loving widow, came out of her room and handed me a $100 bill. In tears, she said, "I wish I had more to give you for the next chapter of your life." I knew it was her emergency money and it was all she had, but out of respect and knowing it would give her peace of mind, I accepted it graciously. Holidays and birthdays would pass, and I couldn't spend my grandmother's $100. She is no longer with us, but yet I still hold on to her $100 to remind myself that life is to give. When you give, so much is given back to you. Years later, living in New York, I was taken to the Juilliard School of Performing Arts by the renowned Polynesian superstar soprano, Dame Kiri Takanawa. It was a leap of faith on her part to take me there to sing for the head of the music department without hearing me sing first. Oh, it was game day. Competing against 115 applicants. Over 3 nights and 3 rounds of auditions, countless interviews, I was floored to receive a call weeks later congratulating me to let me know that I was one of 4 that got a full scholarship to their opera program. Choo-hoo! My grandmother made a difference in my life when I started my music journey. Dame Kiri's love helped me find my path in music. And as you are about to venture out into your new chapter of a successful life, may you always remember to give back to your communities and to help others along the way. Remember, the life you hold is yours. It is up to you to become that creative, successful, and passionate being you were created to be. One of my all-time favorite quotes from Marianne Williamson: "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frighten us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Playing small does not save the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that's within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Wildcats, our greatest tool for changing the world is our capacity to change our own minds about the world. Choosing to shift perception and create miracles in our lives gives us the opportunity to practice being who we really are. Miracle magnets. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. And allow yourself to stretch and grow in the goodness and blessings which are yours. Reach for the stars. Dream big and manifest it out loud. And as Prince Kala from the opera Turandot declares victory, Vincero, I will win. May you be victorious in the pursuit of your dreams. Victory is yours. Victory is yours. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you again, Weber State University Symphonic Band, for sharing your amazing talents with us. Thank you, Sam. Tao, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your remarks with us. Cassie as well, and congratulations, Cece, Lugene, and Jean on your recognitions. We'll now proceed with a presentation of our 2021 Brady Presidential Distinguished Professors, followed by the presentation of graduates. Will Dr. Ravi Krovi please join me at the stand for that presentation?
Thank you, President. I would like to recognize two faculty members whose dedication to teaching has enhanced the lives of many Weber State students. They are recipients of the 2021 Brady Presidential Distinguished Professor Award, made possible by a generous gift from past Weber State President Rodney Brady and his wife Mitzi. President Brady led the university from 1978 to 1985. And throughout his tenure, he was a staunch advocate of teaching excellence, an emphasis that continues at Weber to this day. We sincerely thank Mitzi Brady for carrying on her husband's legacy of support for Weber State University's outstanding faculty. The Brady Presidential Distinguished Professors for 2021 are Drs. Michael Vaughn and Dr. Michael Voss.
Michael Vaughn has supported learning for all students throughout his distinguished career at Weber State University.
Neither of my parents are college graduates, and I think that's one of the reasons why they had that aspiration for their kids. So I remember dozens of weekends where we would drive to a nearby university, which was the University of Arkansas, and walk across the campus.
Dr. Vaughn began his career at Weber State after receiving a doctorate in economics.
Sometimes I tell students here at Weber State that they don't select a major based upon the discipline, they select a major based upon the faculty members. Along the way, I would take classes in economics, and those were my favorite classes.
As a teacher, Dr. Vaughn created impactful experiences such as bringing business leaders to campus and challenging students to support nonprofits.
What I really enjoy is creating unique learning experiences for students and doing something with students that really opens their eyes.
Dr. Vaughn served as Dean of the John B. Goddard School of Business and Economics, spearheading the creating of the MBA program.
One of those great relationships was with Jack Goddard, who I worked with in the School of Business. And whenever I would see Mr. Goddard, or whenever he would interact with students, he would always say, "Are you having fun?" Because if you're not having fun, you need to find something else to do. So I've tried to impart that to students.
As provost of Weber State University, Dr. Vaughn was instrumental in creating the Dream Weber program, making a college education a reality for thousands of students.
I continued to teach as provost and subsequently, and those interactions with other faculty members influenced my teaching. So in an honors class I taught, I worked with an art professor, Kay Stevenson, and we gave the students a project of communicating economic concepts through art.
He also worked to establish centers for community-engaged learning and LGBT students.
I can honestly say that I learned more at Weber State University. I learned more from the faculty and students at Weber State University than I learned at any other university where I was a student.
Weber State University is pleased to honor Dr. Michael Vaughn as a Brady Presidential Distinguished Professor.
Thanks, Roger.
Quintessential storyteller Michael Voss is a master of the mountain and classroom, inspiring decades of English students.
My dad encouraged all sorts of stuff. I mean, he had me boxing when I was little. I rode horses. He would take me up the canyon when Dean Perkins and some of the really early Ogden climbers were up there, and we'd sit in the car or sit on the hood of the car and watch them climb routes in Ogden Canyon.
Graduating with a PhD in British literature, Dr. Voss came to Weber State in 1982, where he organized the National Undergraduate Literature Conference, attracting hundreds of student writers and renowned literary figures.
The great thing is we brought to Ogden literally the best writers in the world that have interacted with Weber State students and with the students at the Literature Conference. And
Dr. Voss established the Dead Poets Tour study abroad trip to Britain, and as honors program director, organized a service expedition to Nepal.
We'd go stay where Wordsworth stayed and walk where Wordsworth walked, and Coleridge and all the others, and it's pretty neat to put a hands-on sort of addition to your education. It just kind of makes the literature come more alive.
A recipient of the Boardman-Tasker Mountain Literature Award, Dr. Voss is a well-regarded poet authoring 10 books of poems.
Because of my background in mountaineering literature, I've got to know some of the greatest climbers in history. One of the highlights of my career, I think, was when I was chosen to be chair of the Boardman-Tasker Mountain Literature Awards, and the only non-Brit that's ever done it.
Dr. Voss has received numerous awards, including the Crystal Crest Master Teacher, Lowe Innovative Teaching, and H. Aldous Dixon Awards.
When you're teaching a class and you see the light pop on students' eyes, there's nothing more rewarding than that.
An adventurer himself, Dr. Voss is a well-known expert on mountaineering literature, presenting at conferences worldwide. He was a member of the 2011 Everest expedition in search of the body of early British climber Andrew Irvine.
I just think it's important that you live in a community where you work, that you give back to that community as well as to your workplace. I can't emphasize enough how important having a supportive family is. That's really the key. I grew up basically as an only child and a very cautious mother, and my father was dead. And so it's meant a lot to me to have that.
Weber State University is pleased to honor Dr. Michael Voss as a Brady Presidential Distinguished Professor.
Join me in congratulating Drs. Vaughn and Dr. Voss again. President Mortensen, as Provost of Weber State University, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to present the candidates who have completed all requirements of the certificate and degrees indicated in the program of the day and are deemed worthy of the distinction.
All right, all of you graduates, if you're out there in virtual land, stand up in the name of Weber State University. And if you're here with us, stand up. No, keep standing, keep standing. In the name of Weber State University, upon the recommendation of its faculty and by the authority of the Utah State Board of Higher Education, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate certificate and degree indicated in the program of the day. And as a symbol of this accomplishment, please turn the tassel from the right side of your cap to the left side. Congratulations. Okay, you can sit down now. At this point, I would like to welcome our Weber State University Alumni Association President, Curtis Funk, to the stand to give a welcome to all of our new Wildcat alumni.
Well, I definitely feel very inadequate to be amongst this group today. I've been just very moved by those speaking. I don't have anything on the teleprompter, and to say I feel underprepared is fair because I found out about this morning. So I'm going to refer to my notes here on my phone. But first, to begin, I just want to congratulate all of you Wildcats and just, I hope you recognize how exciting and excellent this day is. A lot of the celebrations that are going on this week are going to feel like goodbyes, and mine's more of an invitation. As mentioned, my name is Curtis Funk. I'm the president of the Alumni Association currently, an association which all of you are now members of. And a recent change we're making is that it's no longer a dues membership. It's anyone who is an alumni of Weber State is now an alumni, which is a pretty awesome change that's taking place that a lot of universities have already done, and because of the generosity of Weber State that we're able to do that. The mission of the Alumni Association is to champion the university by fostering spirited and lasting ties among alumni and friends. And what that means is that classes and hard work are over and the fun starts now. We want you to stay involved and create some amazing memories with Weber State going forward. We need ambassadors and influencers for this incredible university, and we're asking you to bleed purple. Thank you, Dr. Sessions, for coining that phrase for us. We want you to wear Weber State gear and tell people how incredible this university really is. Like many of you, I was either working full-time or part-time while I was taking a full load of credits at Weber State, and combined with studying and homework and social life and everything else going on, it was pretty difficult to be highly involved in the university as a student. But I can tell you, I graduated in 2011, and many of my favorite experiences with the university have come in the last 10 years as an alumni, and the most memorable experiences with the university. I'm an entrepreneur, and often some people will come to me with ideas they've got. And one that I've heard many times, especially locally, is there needs to be a place, and some of you have maybe had this idea, there needs to be a place online where we can go and find out what's going on in Ogden. Well, I'm telling you, that is the Weber State Alumni Association. That's why we exist. There are lots of events going on campus and around the community. And if it's a game day, there's no better place to be than at a Weber State sporting event. I hope you've noticed our athletics are crushing it right now. But as members of our Alumni Association now, we will be sending you emails and communications inviting you to connect with us and to stay involved in the university. Getting involved and giving back at Weber State, it's well worth the effort. You are forever a Wildcat now. And in conclusion, I will tell you that one of the things that has been solidified in my mind as an alumni is that Weber State really is great, great, great. Congratulations and thank you.
Congratulations again to all of you graduates. We're so excited for you. Look forward to celebrating with you throughout the convocations Friday and Saturday. Thank you again to the Symphonic Band for sharing your wonderful talents, to our speakers, to our honorees, to all of those who have made this event possible. We will, as we conclude the ceremony, afterwards there is a video that will scroll all of the names of our graduates tonight. You are listed graduates in alphabetical order by your first name with your degree, but you're all on there. So all 6,497 of you. So I hope that you stay tuned and watch for your name on that and appreciate the symphonic band playing throughout that presentation. But before we see that, we will conclude with our time-honored tradition of singing our school song, Purple and White, which will be performed again by the Weber State University Symphonic Band under the direction of Sam Bryson. And then we will have our graduate acknowledgement video.